we're back. Hey guys, I just went for a shower. Yeah. My mind is still mind blown by that idea that we just discovered. Not really an idea that I discovered, but like the concept of how much money essentially is going to be like staying in my pocket because of it. And I feel like I didn't really sort of explain it that well in terms of how much, like the full, like I want to map it out there for like as a reference for you and for me, that I can view back, and perhaps maybe I can make a better way to explain it, or a better way to see it from a different perspective. But essentially, coming back to what I was just saying, like the amount of money that's going to stay in my pocket just because of this idea is tremendous compared to the amount of time in terms of how much assets I've spent to accumulate this idea and actually execute it, plan it, and execute it, and actually use it, right? It is exponential. So let me bring up a spreadsheet, right? Let me bring up a spreadsheet, and we're gonna work this out. I'm not gonna actually, like, again, I'm not somebody's gonna edit this, so you're gonna have to really follow along and try to map this out on your own. I think it will use your brain. It's already in my brain, so I don't really need to explain it to myself. But if you want to follow along, do the maths, get a piece of paper, and actually do it. Okay, so we have to consider the money, like assets. Okay, we have to consider how much assets we've spent in order to accumulate and actually fundamentally use this concept, and how much to fully measure how much it's going to save us, okay, in terms of how much money it's going to make us. This is what makes us financially intelligent and makes us really, really smarter, more intelligent than everybody else, righty? Okay, so let's just start. So, as mentioned, I've spent countless hours of countless days trying to research this information to understand and conceptualize this idea of how much I can limit in terms of fees spending when it comes to trades, and how can I reduce my spread. Okay, the trickiest part was spread. I'm sweating because I just came out of a hot steamy shower. Okay, so as a given idea, I think I mentioned about 20 hours. So let's just go with 20 hours. Okay, 20 hours, okay, that I spent of my own time. So time is an asset, right? So time equals 20 hours, okay? And I get paid at the moment $50,000 per annum, which is $50,000 a year, okay? Right, and we divide that by 52 weeks, because I work 52 weeks. Okay, and we get about $961.53 per week, but we work 40 hours generally. Well, actually work a lot more, but I get paid fixed 40 hours, which is, don't bite the hand that feeds you, okay? Just respect the hand. Divide by 40 hours per week, okay? Let's just make sure. So $50,000 a year divided by 52 weeks. For each week we work 40 hours. So I get a pay rate of $24.03, okay? And we'll just take it there. So in general, it didn't take me, it took me, let's see how long. I think that the video was like 10 minutes, okay? So we're gonna divide that even further by 40 hours to minutes. Wait, 40 hours. Can't really do minutes. To each hour, divide. I don't know. What's how many? So we'll just do equals, because I'm using Excel spreadsheet. 60 minutes times 40. We get how many minutes are in 40 hours, and then we do equals. Actually, wait, we've already got per hour. We just divide that by 60. All right, well, so we get a rate of $24.03 per hour. We can just divide that by 60 to get what it is per minute. So it equals this cell divided by 60. 60 minutes. That doesn't look right. Oops. That doesn't look right. 60. Oh yeah, it does, because 60 minutes divided by 40 is divided by 40 hours, we get $24. I'm just gonna reverse math this because I don't feel like this is correct. 40 cents times 60 minutes. Okay, it is. Okay, so wow, that's actually because it's per minute. Okay, so per minute I get 40 cents, right? Per hour I get $24.03. Okay, so let's just say countless hours is a fixed amount of 20 hours. Altogether, me trying to research this information, and then 11 minutes. Okay, plus 11 minutes. What's 11 minutes in regards to a decimal number? We'll do this cell equals 60. No, 11 divided by 60. Okay, so it's the total equals the equivalent of pay in terms of hours equals some, because I can't be bothered to do that, some tab, and I know cell basic Excel programming because I'm a good boy, I can do maths, is 20 hours and 20, sorry, in terms of whole numbers, I get paid, so the equivalent in whole numbers, how much time I've invested into researching this particular information is 20.18, right? 20.18. So if I was to pay myself in terms of per hours worked, like from what I earn, I'd just do that times by how much I earn per hour. It's cost me about $485.17 in terms of my time, the equivalence of my time transferred into money. Okay, right? And in a perfect scenario, so that's what we're down. We've translated how much time we've invested as a cost, right? Because I could have spent that time playing video games. I could have spent that time watching Witcher. I could have spent that time doing whatever people do when they just chill out and do what they want to do rather than what they need to do, right? And that is invest into power, okay? So rather than doing that, I've invested my time into this, and the equivalent in terms of cost based on how much I earn per day is $485.70. So we're down $485.70, okay? That's how much money I've essentially thrown or given to somebody, essentially, to find this information. Now, in a perfect world, okay, I obviously want to trade $10,000 USD, and I want to make 2% increase, okay? 0.02. All right, in a perfect world, each trade, so if I was to trade on SwiftX, okay, which is the current exchange that I'm on, they have a taker's fee and maker's fee of 0.006%, which is 0.6%. Yeah, 0.6%, which is 0.006. Okay, so as I mentioned before, if in the event, so the cost to buy in would be at a base rate. So in a statistic, in a static world, why am I trying to explain this? This just gets harder as I do it. In a static world where I bought Bitcoin at using $10,000 USD, it would cost me $60. Okay. And if I made 2%, okay, which is equals this divided by this. That doesn't work. Why does that work? I thought it would, because I'm a spoodle. Equals. How do I do? I feel like there's a better way to write this code. Equals. I'm gonna have to cut it out. Equals this times this, bracket that, plus this. Okay. So in a perfect world, I get 2% per trade, which means the cost of that, if I was to sell it at 2%, equals this new total times by 0.006 equals that. So the total trade of that would be, as mentioned, I'm gonna have to cut this up really badly, $121.20 per trade. That's if I do one trade every single day. Assuming in a statistic world, in a static world, whereby I do this perfect 2% trade every single day from the start of the year, 365 days, okay, we just simply equals, we just multiply by 365 days. That would be a cost in trading fees, not including spread, just in taker fees, of 44,238 cents. That's 44,238 cents. That's if, right, I do one set of trades every single day. Obviously, I'm trying to maximize my position, so I'm obviously going to try and do multiple trades per day, right? Obviously, I'm not going to do one trade. I might be doing two trades of $10,000 USD, okay? And this is in USD, $44,000, 238 in trading fees, okay? In a year of one set of trades per day, should I have a perfect trade of plus 2% per trade? It sounds unrealistic, but to give you an example of the maths behind how much money that's going out of my pocket if I didn't invest the time into this like piece of knowledge, right, that I'm going to be able to use and execute. So let's rephrase it. Let's summarize that back, okay? I invested in this scenario 20 hours and 11 minutes, okay? In terms of cost, if I was to pay myself or pay somebody that amount of time based on how much I get per hour, it would have cost me out of pocket $485.17. Okay, so imagine me taking $485.17 and giving that to somebody in their hand, okay, because that's how much it costs in terms of my time, right? And then that same person puts back into my pocket, into my hand, $44,238. I've essentially multiplied my time in terms of transitional value of money and time, and I've multiplied my position. That is mind-boggling. To give you an idea, okay, like in terms of how many times difference that is, I'm going to do this, the value that I spent versus the amount of money I put back into my pocket, okay, into whole numbers. That is 91 times, 91.17 times the amount of money I've invested, or the amount of time, the equivalent to the amount of time, okay, that I invested, okay? So, like okay, let's break it down even further, okay? So I spent, no, not break it down further, but let's give you another perspective in terms of transitioning that back to time, because we use time as an asset to spend on getting this, and then we measured it using by converting it into money, because we convert the 20 hours in 11 minutes to how much we would have used if we had just worked that amount of money, right? So we got 485. So in return, we save or put back into our pockets $44,238 because we would have paid that in fees. Okay. And then we just divide that by how much we get paid per hour. It's gonna be insane, dude. Divide that by this $24 as a whole number. If this math is correct, I spent 20 hours and 11 minutes, right? In 365 days, if this perfect scenario exists, I would have gained back 1,840 hours. Not including the decimal, because I don't know how to work that out. 1,840 hours. Let me say that again. I spent 20 hours and 11 minutes to understand this concept, to find this concept, understand this concept so that I can execute it, plan it and execute it as I'm doing now. And I'm getting back, in this perfect scenario, 1,840 hours. Let me say that again. Spending 20 hours and 11 minutes, I get back the equivalent of I get the equivalent of, let me say that again. Spending 20 hours and 11 minutes, I get back 1,840 hours in a single year, should this scenario exist. Do you know how many days that is? Equals this divided by 40 hours of work. Weeks of work. That's 46 weeks of work that I don't have to work. There's only 52 weeks in a year. I would only have to work 6 weeks in a year. Does that make that's mind-boggling. What? What? And it's only the 4th of January today. There is 362 days left. And on the 4th day, this concept, this idea that I understand and I can conceptualize it, I can plan it, I can execute it, comes to me $44,238 USD back into my pocket, the equivalent of 1,840 hours of my time back into my pocket, the equivalent of me not having to work 46 weeks of my current work back into my pocket. Imagine going on holidays for the entire year and you only had to work 6 weeks. That is the power of knowledge, of intelligence. That is a gift. It is mind-blowing. I'm so happy. I'm so stoked. I'm over the moon, and I hope I was able to explain it to whoever's watching. But oh my God. Unbelievable. And that's me just doing one trade a day. One set of trades a day. Oh my, and that's in fees that's not in profit that I'm making. That's in fees that I'm avoiding. I'm avoiding paying these fees. And all I did was I had to invest 20 hours and 11 minutes. And I get 46 weeks worth of holiday. And that's in a single year. That's in a single year. That's in 12 months. And I'm only 26. How long am I going to be doing trading for? 30 years? 20 years? Trading more than $10,000 at a time? Doing multiple trades of $10,000 at a time? Think how much goes back into my pocket. Unbelievable. Anyway, that's it for today. That is it for today. I'm so happy. You don't understand. I'm so happy. This is the 4th day of the year. And I've essentially put back not just $44,000 into my pocket, but hundreds of $1,000s for the years to come. Try to grasp that. That is power.